Good evening, everyone. Once again, unmuted. Uh, I thought this evening I would just go over a few facts about from where we started and where we are at the moment in terms of the percent of days students can attend in-person instruction. So we took a graph, went back to the beginning of the school year, and we're looking here at the K-6, grades K to 6. At the bottom left, you see September 8th. That's when we opened with all virtual instruction, no in-person instruction. We moved out to October 12th, where we began a hybrid instruction with 40% of instructional time, students having in-person days 40% of the time. And that included virtual Wednesdays. And then there's this long flat line, that long march through November, December, and January, which was the holiday period. And we focused primarily on remaining open for in-person instruction, just barely hanging on, despite staffing challenges presented by teachers and staff members and students being asked to quarantine because of contact tracing. On March 3rd, we eliminated virtual Wednesdays, bringing the percent of days students can attend in-person instruction to 50%. On March 8th, we took another step forward and we monitored our enrollments and progressed to three-quarter cohorts for the grades K to 6, meaning at that time that the percent of days that students could attend in person for K to 6 was up to 75%. And then on March 24th, the new CDC and the New Jersey DOH guidance changed from 6 feet social distancing to 3 feet for grades K through 6. And we now have, this enabled us to provide K to 6 students 5 days a week in person on a daily basis. So we went from 0 in-person days in September to 100% of daily attendance. Next slide. The middle school was similar, starting in September and then opening in hybrid into October and barely hanging on, but we did hang on in the middle school as well and stayed open during those holiday spikes. And then in March 3rd, we did away with the virtual Wednesdays to make way for more in-person instruction. And that brought the percentage of days students could attend in person for grades 7 and 8 up to 50%. And then on October 17th, when the NJDOH report changed our regional risk level from high to moderate, we quickly opened 5 days a week, 7 to 12, while maintaining the existing schedule. And again, we have the percent of days students can attend in person for grades 7 to 8 currently is at 100%. The next is the high school graph. And again, somewhat similar and with a few changes. Again, opening all virtual September, jumping up to 33% hybrid for the high school because of the size. We had to go to an ABC cohort. Then in November, we remained that way through November, December, and January. And then on February 8th, we were able to move from an ABC cohort to an AB cohort, thereby changing our percent from 33% to 50%. And once again, on April 17th, the risk level dropped for the whole district, and that enabled the high school to attend 5 days a week. So I wanted to look back and show a representative graph of how we slowly progressed from zero attendance to 100% daily attendance. And when I reflect back over the school year, from where we started to where we are now, I think it's clear that the steady, measured approach to opening in-person instruction in the first global pandemic of our lifetimes was the correct path. We arrived here in the fourth marking period at a time when all students choosing in-person instruction are able to attend daily. I'm proud of the path, the measured path, the professional path that we took by following the professional guidance. I'm also proud of the work with to be working with a dedicated staff who kept us open continuously from October. Despite the weeks when several hundred staff members and students were quarantined, which caused severe dislocations in our staffing. The teachers did double duty. Staff at all levels pitched in to keep our schools open, but at no time did we veer from the NJDOH or the CDC guidelines. And I'm also proud to have worked with a board that trusted my judgment to resist decisions based on negative or positive predictions about the spread of the virus. We neither closed preemptively based on media predictions of massive spreads after the holidays, nor did we open schools prematurely based on local pressure and opinions touting positive projections regarding the virus. Instead, in the first pandemic of our lifetimes, we did the prudent thing. We followed the guidance of the medical community. By following professional health advice, we were able to increasingly progress safely to more and more in-person instruction, culminating in our current state in which students choosing in-person instruction are able to attend school daily. We will continue in this vein. Next slide. And I want to assure the public and that the district is planning 5 full days a week of in-person instruction under the current guidelines for September 2021. Right? So I want to be clear. I'll say it again. We want to assure the district, the public, that the district is planning for 5 full days of in-person instruction under the current guidelines for September 2021. I've also received a number of emails and had conversations with parents who are concerned that if we go back in September 5 full days, does that mean that there will be no all virtual option? And as I explained and wanted to take a few minutes tonight to explain, we are planning to have an all virtual option. So if that option is available to us by the governor, we are prepared and have been prepared to supply that. And the reason I say by the governor is if we prepare for an all virtual option, but the Department of Education through the governor's office decides that a student cannot get credit on an all virtual option, there would be nothing we could do about that. But we are also prepared, and I believe, regardless of what decisions were made in Trenton, to provide accommodations for children who need those accommodations. And I've heard from many parents over the last few weeks whose children have personal needs that would clearly qualify for accommodations. And I do not see any problem with meeting those accommodations. So we are prepared for an all virtual option, and we are prepared to provide as much virtual as we are able to provide when the Department of Ed gives out a blanket guidance. But we're also prepared to go beyond that to children who have some special needs and special needs for accommodations. And I believe the virtual option will always be here for a certain segment of the population of our student body. And that's all I have.